Hello everyone. As part of my attempt of becoming an Amazon influencer and into the Amazon affiliates program, I realized I've been making some mistakes. So this time around, I'm trying to do it the correct way. And what I realized is that the only way I can do it so far with the digital media experience that I have is to post some videos on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to be posting some holiday gift guides. My first gift guide, and the links will be below to all of these items. So my first gift guide is going to be suggestions for a preteen, especially preteen boy, but also for children who are on the autism spectrum. As most of you know, my son Ethan is 12 and on the spectrum. So along with being on the spectrum comes sensory sensitivities, comes some focus problems. So along the way, recently in the last year, I've come across some products that have really helped him thrive and succeed. We've been learning card games, but it's very hard for him to hold all the cards. So we've come across, these are plastic card holders. So when we play Go Fish, for example, he can just put the cards in here instead of trying to hold them all in his hands. The next thing that has been really a game that I found that was fun, this is kind of a cross between pickup sticks and Jenga. And what you do is you put all the colored sticks through the holes, then you add the balls, and you try to remove the sticks and try to keep the balls from falling. Sometimes it's a great day playing this, sometimes it induces anxiety, but it's fun nonetheless. I'm gonna do games first. The next set of games are, these are puzzles. These are plastic block pieces that have different patterns on them. And what you get in this box is you get all these cards. So the child or the person has to try to recreate this pattern using the blocks. Now, a lot of neurodivergent people, their brain works in patterns, and Ethan loves patterns. So this has been a very fun, successful game. It's sort of like dominoes, but on a very advanced level. The next game that we have used this is called Feelings in a Jar. And what it is you have all these different cards inside. And we do it in various ways. This card says joyous, so we can either talk about a joyous memory that we have, or we can make a face that would be joyous. It depends on, the child or how you want to give them the options to help them understand the different feelings. Sometimes it's a challenge for children on the spectrum. Another game we really love is Spot It, but Ethan loves Disney, so this is the Disney edition. So what you're doing is you put the cards out, and then there's something in common for every two cards. So that is what we look for. The next set of games is from the same company. It's a company that made, their first game was Tenzi, which was a whole bunch of dice. That was way too complicated for Ethan. But they also have games such as Buildzi, which we love, which again is cards, and you have to reproduce the patterns with the plastic pieces that are inside. That's a lot of fun. And multiple people can play this at the same time. That's Buildzi, and then we have Itzi, which is a matching game. So you pick a card and it says it's an animal, and then on the other card you have to give an animal with one of the letters. We then have Slapzi. This is a good one. And again, it's like feature function class, and it tells you the meant to go in your mouth, and then you have to pick one of your cards. And then there is Pairzi, which is finding the match for these crazy monsters. We then have the game Clack, which again this is magnets, but you have to match the patterns. So again, patterns matching. This is a great game called Tall Tales. So basically, we play it that you pick a card which has a scene on it, And then what we do is we tell a story about what the scene is. Often you can also, it comes with these little play pieces, and you can give them one of the play pieces and they have to incorporate that into their story. Tall tales. And then we have this is a board game where it's like a STEM game, and you have to set the pieces up so that the tractor or the car can glide along seemingly and not bump into one of the obstructions. Lastly, we have one of these silicone boards. And what you do is you take these silicone strings and you can push them into the patterns on the board, such as this. And then they have to take them out. And you can make any patterns that you pretty much want. On the other side, it's just dots. So it leaves a lot of room for creativity, and it keeps their hands busy, like a fidget toy. Speaking of which, these are poppets, but they're in the shape of various animals. I always keep one in the car or in Ethan's school bag. In case for some reason he needs to be kept busy, he can do a poppet. We also have any kind of visual timer. This one makes drops and it goes along. I'll have links down below for several different options for visual timers, but this is something that's very relaxing and soothing and helps Ethan reset his brain if he's become dysregulated. Walkie talkies. This was a great way to break through when Ethan's having a tough moment. I would put the walkie talkie outside his room or next to wherever he is, and then I'll talk to him through it, and often it will help reset him. He'll think it's funny. Just a different means of communication. Instead of going in and asking your child, how are you doing? Are you okay? You could just make it a fun game across rooms. I want to talk about some books. So Ethan loves to read. A lot of these I call self-help books for kids. So we have B is for breath. This is the ABCs of feelings and how to regulate oneself. Quiet Please, Owen McPhee. This author, Tracy Ludwig, writes some beautiful books for children. This series about the bad seed, the cool bean, sour grape, there's a whole bunch more. These are really wonderful stories to help your children relate to just having a bad day or feeling really smug or feeling great about yourself. It's relatable. It helps them be relatable, but it uses food as the character. This one was a game changer. I think a lot. Ethan also has OCD. So this was a really helpful book to help him understand how his brain just keeps going in circles sometimes. When I See Red, another game changer. Beautifully written book talking about being mad and then the transition to being calm. Sometimes When I'm Mad. It's a great series of books. And then this set, which we haven't even opened, What Would Danny Do? So it's a story about a little boy named Danny, and it gives a story about something he's going through, and then it gives you two options. And depending on which option you choose, you go to that page. Is Danny going to make a good choice or a bad choice? So it teaches them about making choices and what the outcomes or consequences can be. Then we have these beautiful, beautiful pop-up books, which are published by Little Simon. They are created by an author named Robert Sabuda. Again, you can find the links below, but I'm talking these are stunning and they're visually stimulating and they are just over-the-top pop-up books and very well done. Ethan will focus and play with these for a long time. Not to say that your child will, but it's certainly worth a try. This happens to be Wizard of Oz. We have about 6 different options. And again, I will link those below. Lastly, I wanted to show you 2 items for body regulation. One is this balance board. So I'm putting it on the table, but it should be on the floor. So you stand on it and they try to balance their bodies. It helps them focus. And it helps them, it gives proprioceptive input too, which means it helps their body regulate and calm along with their brain in connection. And then the last item I want to show you is, this is a spinning chair. So obviously it goes on the floor, holds up to 200 pounds, I believe, or 150 pounds. I'll have to look up the specifics, or you can see the specifics on the link below. This is amazing. Even though Ethan's 12, he loves to sit in it and spin around. Again, it's proprioceptive input for his body and his brain. And this is what he requires at some points during each day to regulate. So thank you. This is my first gift guide. Maybe I spoke a little bit too much. I'm learning, and you're helping me learn, and you're helping me with my financial journey in being a single mom to a special needs kid, and I really appreciate it. If you can click on the items below, if you want to order them, my Amazon Associates ID is connected to all of the links below, but even just clicking helps. So have a wonderful holiday. Thank you.